This time I will reintroduce Mr. Ronnie Lee, your CEO. He has been with Walton EMC for a number of years, been very effective as CEO, runs a very tight ship, keeps the EMC in excellent shape financially with top-notch service to its members. Please join me in welcoming and introducing Mr. Ronnie Lee, the CEO.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning, and once again, I'd like to thank you for coming to your annual meeting. I know it took a lot of effort to get up this morning with the rain. We haven't had rain early in the morning in quite a while, so I know it was probably inviting to stay in bed or stay at home. But I'm certainly glad that you're here because there's plenty of other places that you could be this morning. One purpose of this meeting is to elect directors. We've already done that. They represent you on this board, and they represent you very, very good. Another purpose is to bring you up to date on what's happening at your co-op and to give you reports on the condition of the business of co-op. In your bucket, there was a report that gives the financial highlights, gives the 2007 annual report, as well as some highlights of Walton EMC. If you have any questions on this, please see an employee or see Wendy or myself, and we'll be happy to get you the answer if we can't answer it today. This morning, though, I want to cover some other things which I think is going to affect us all in the near future. There's two important issues facing Walton EMC, but it also faces the entire electric industry. Some experts have said that what happens over the next 1 to 2 years will affect the availability and price of electricity for perhaps the next 30 years. These issues are very real, and they'll have a direct effect on the amount of your power bill. And I'm going to go over some items that you can do to help, so listen closely over the next few minutes, and then I'll give you some things that we can do. The first issue is the growing demand for electric power. The other issue is the push to address climate change. These two issues are separate, but they both have dramatic impacts on our energy supply and cost. And they are separate, but they become intertwined time and time again. It's no surprise to any of us that our area is growing rapidly. Every day we're getting new neighbors. A lot of us remember fields that used to grow cotton or soybeans, and now they're subdivisions and they have new homes on them. Of course, more people and homes bring new businesses, grocery stores, restaurants, and then when these businesses come, the people who run them find it's a nice place to be, and then they'll bring other businesses as well. So it means more growth for us. Between the years 2000 and 2010, Georgia's population is expected to grow 17%. And that's a lot, but if you look at it over the next 25 years, we'll grow by 3.8 million people. And that's the same as the entire populations of Nevada and Hawaii combined. You can see by population growth alone that we're going to need more electricity. But that's not the entire picture, because individually we use more electricity on a daily basis now than we used to. Think back 20 years ago on how many TVs you had in your house. 1, maybe 2. But today it's not uncommon to find even 5 in some houses. And they're not little portable sets. Most people have gone to the large big screen models, and they require more energy. How many had a computer in your house 20 years ago? I don't think many of you did. But they're a lot more common today, and just think of all the electronic devices that we use. They're just everywhere. Remember that Georgia's population is expected to grow by 17%, but at the same time, electricity demand will grow almost double that amount, about 38%. Most people understand we'll need to build more electric generation and transmission facilities to avoid blackouts and preserve the quality of life that we now enjoy. But it's just not that simple. Recently, there was an editorial that appeared in the Augusta Chronicle, and I quote, "We know that current electricity production cannot possibly keep up with demand, yet there is an opposition group to every workable energy source. There hasn't been a nuclear power plant put in motion in the United States since 1973, despite the fact that France gets almost 80% of its electricity from some 60 nuclear power plants. While the U.S. has the largest coal reserves in the world, and it supplies more than half of our electricity today, it's also an environmentally touchy source. None of this makes a lick of sense." End of quote.